Okay, I'm back. Hey, I just had a thought on my last video, and I wanted to just kind of go over this with you real quick. This would be, I just want to discuss vows with you guys for a second, okay? And I know you guys have heard me say this 1,000 times, but I'm going to say it again, okay? When it comes to, first of all, Elizabeth, I know you've had a boyfriend or two. You get all those warm and fuzzy feelings, and it's really fun, and I call it being Twitter-pated. If you don't know what that word means, watch Bambi. Also being, having butterflies. It's just this amazing feeling that is created, I'm going to say, as a result of like oxytocin or a bunch of good endorphins that are going through your brain. You've got all of these new feelings, and it feels really great. Guys, Noah and Isaac, when you meet a woman that you really like, you're going to have those feelings. I promise you that, okay? It's like nothing that anybody can describe. It is dadgum amazing. It's like a drug. You want to have it all the time, okay? I kid you not. I promise you this. This isn't just me. This is all men in the history of dadgum mankind, and women too for that matter. Those feelings will go away for sure, okay? At some point, whether it's after you're married or before you get married or whatever, those feelings go away. And what is left, okay, is your decision, what you're going to do moving forward. Now, if you have offered a woman your vow, okay, that vow is not a vow to love, honor, and cherish her until you no longer feel like it, okay? Anybody can give that vow, and if that's what you're doing, it's not a vow, okay? Hold on a second. Hey, what are you doing? Cool. So how long is your drive? About 15 minutes? All right, I'm going to call you back in about 2 minutes. I'm recording a video for the kids real quick, and then I'll call you back as soon as I leave here, okay? All right, you're going to pick up, right? All right, cool, bye. All right, so anyway, so a vow, it's like your honor as a man, okay? It's when you give somebody a vow, that's your promise. It's like shaking a man's hand. If you look a man in the eye and you agree to something, I don't care what happens from that point forward, you have to honor that agreement. If the other party chooses for you to honor that, you've got to honor that, okay? So anyway, back to the vow. Guys, marriage is a tough thing, okay? You guys have probably seen that, I'm sure. But it's a beautiful, beautiful thing when it's done right, okay? So I want to encourage you a couple of things real quick. I didn't plan this video, so I don't have an outline, and I probably don't have an outline with enough in life. But a few things I want you to remember, okay? Number one, marriage, it's an amazing thing when it's done right, okay? When you get to the point that you want to offer a woman your vows, or Elizabeth, when you get to a point where you want to offer a man your vows, okay, you have to know that it's for life. I don't care what anybody tells you. I don't care how many people around you are getting divorced. I don't care if the guy becomes a royal jerk a week after you marry him. These are the things that you have to think about when you are preparing to offer your life and your vows with somebody, okay? You are saying, I don't care how you get, what you do, what struggles you face in the future, I'm going to stand by you, okay? I'm going to love you regardless. I'm going to honor you regardless. I'm going to respect you. And Elizabeth, that's for you, but boys, Noah and Isaac, it's also for you as well, okay? It's just what you're doing. Think about the words that you were saying when you were at the altar, okay? I promise to love, honor, and cherish you in sickness and in health, for better or for worse, for richer or for poorer, as long as we both shall live. Man, that's a big dadgum promise, guys. The only thing that gets you out of that is, in my case, like, when your mom left, she married somebody else. She took she broke the vow. Okay, so there's nothing I could do. Okay, so will I do it again someday? Absolutely, I'll do it again someday. I hope, Lord willing. But when I do that, guys, I don't get the opportunity to bail out, and you don't either. I don't care what anybody tells you, your professors in college, or your friends that are at the bar, or your friends that don't know how to do marriage, or that are making choices outside of their marriage. Guys, when you look at that woman or that man, it is, and you offer your vows, I want you to honor those vows, guys. I know I'm being repetitive, but here's why I say it, okay? Marriage is one of the hardest things that you will ever do, okay? Generally speaking, sometimes you get lucky and you get one that it's just easy with, but generally speaking, it is just not easy to share your life, your entire life with somebody and commit to somebody for the rest of your life. I believe God created marriage that way. He created it to bring out the best in us and the worst in us. And when it brings out the worst in us, that vow will get us over that difficult time. Okay, when we want to leave, when we don't want to be in this, we don't want to be emotional, we don't want to be vulnerable, we don't want to do this thing that doesn't serve us in the moment, but instead serves somebody that we're not crazy about at the moment. Okay, we don't want that. But that vow says, I don't get a choice. This is what I signed up for. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to love this individual as long as I live. Regardless of what is going on, we are going to get through this. And I promise you this, guys, it's just like with anything. It's like when you set out to get your degree, okay? And you say, well, I'm going to get this such and such degree, or I'm going to pass this class. Going through that is not easy, but there's always an end to that. There's always that point where you're like, wow, I'm so glad I went through that. I'm so glad I finished that. Marriage is that way, okay? It just is. I've seen it 1,000 times. I've seen it with my clients. I've got clients that are in their 80s and 90s, and they all say the same thing. It wasn't easy, but man, I'm glad I stuck with it. Don't make the mistake of bailing out when things are hard. You will screw yourself if you do that. You take away, and this is one way to put it, you take away God's ability to bless you at an even greater level if you bail when times are hard, okay? Don't bail when times are hard. If you gave them your vow, you stick it out. And I don't care if it's the most miserable thing in the world. If it is, you get on your knees and you pray and you ask God to change his heart or her heart or that situation, or you pray for healing or whatever. And guys, it's not fun in the moment for our flesh. It's not, okay? But in the long run, I promise you, if you're in that situation and you do what I tell you to do, I promise you at some point you're like, wow, you know what? I'm glad that I listened to Dad. Okay? So anyway, I'm going to quit harping on it. That's all I had to say about that. I'm sure I'll talk about it again. But this is honor your vows, guys. And not just in marriage. If you vow to finish school, you freaking finish school. If you vow to do a great job on the job, I don't care if you're working at Brahms, you do a great job. And when you go in there, you work your tail off. You know that you're working hard for that employer. You're not doing it for a freaking paycheck. You're doing it because you're there to serve your employer. Okay? If you vow to start a group or to lead something and you tell somebody you're going to do it, I don't care if times get hard, guys. You follow through on that, okay? All right, I love you guys. I hope you have a great day. I'll catch you later. Bye.